Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the psychology of money, decoded through the lens of Bazi. So, this series took a bit of a long pause, I know, giving way to the important annual zodiac forecast for each of the animal signs. So, what are we doing in this particular episode? Let me just share my screen. There we go. Okay, so this episode will coincide with chapter 11 in the book, which is reasonable for over rational. So, in this video, we're going to basically sing the Spice Girls song. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Okay, but first, as always, give me 30 seconds. Quick intro. Okay, very quick one. Okay, so hi, in case this is the first time we met, my name is Pauline Cheng. I'm a Bazi and Feng Shui practitioner, and I use this art to empower, not to disempower. So I was formerly in the communications field. Today I run my one person consultancy outfit. Okay, so in the course of watching this series, if you find that I am delivering value and you would like to explore your chart further, especially with money, my booking link is in the description. And since we're going into all this financial information and stuff, very important disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I'm a Bazi and Feng Shui practitioner. I read energy. Okay. I'm not licensed. I'm not a licensed financial advisor or consultant or anything in that field. So please take this content as either education or entertainment purposes. Okay. And of course, I hope you enjoy the content as well. So let's move on. Okay. Chapter 11. It's a very short chapter. We like to think that we are logical creatures, but in truth, all of us are pretty much a bundle of emotions, right? Some of us a little bit unhinged, some of us more unhinged than others. Okay, so let's go to the key excerpts in the book. Okay, so right on the very start of chapter 11, you're not a spreadsheet, you're a person, a screwed up emotional person. Okay, so don't try to aim to be coldly rational when making financial decisions. Aim to be just pretty reasonable, which is more realistic. Okay, so in Bazi, when we want to decode what that person truly wants, which can be different from how they operate, by the way, we look at the stem in the hour pillar. So let me just show you. Okay. So for this, you will need to know your hour of birth. All right. Which is why we often caution clients that while we can proceed with just the external pillars, a missing hour pillar will mean we are looking at an incomplete picture. Okay. To be specific, we're not looking at the stem, especially for this video, for the purpose of this video, we're looking to see which of the 10 gods appear on the hour stem. In this example, it's the friend star. So if you want to plot your chart, your Bazi chart, link the link to the JY Master Academy's free plotter is in the video description. So to be clear, when a practitioner looks at the hour pillar or any pillar for that for that matter, we look at the whole pillar, the stem, the hidden stems, and even the hexagram from this particular pillar. So, but this is an internet sharing, ultra simplified. What I'm about to share is just generic information and may differ when the entire chart is being analyzed. For a technophile like myself, I actually think that this could be a little bit too generic, but perhaps it can still be useful for someone. So now I just want to remind you, earlier in this series, we talked about how each of the 10-day masters interact with their wealth. We've discussed at length about how each of the 10 gods save money. In this episode, what we are looking at via the hour pillar is the motivation behind the behavior. Okay. And I think it's important because understanding our own natural motivations can actually give us a lot of control. Okay. So let's start with the companion stars. If the companion stars either friend, as in F, and Rob Wealth, RW, Okay, if they show up on the heavenly stem in the hour pillar, between these two guys, there are a lot of similarities, but there is one glaring difference. Let's talk about the similarities first. In both cases, the presence of the friend or Rockwell typically point to a person with a strong sense of confidence. Basically, they know their own minds. Is it good? Is it bad? To really decode if this is harmful or helpful to the day master, we need to know if this element is favorable or unfavorable to the day master. But honestly, to me, like I've said, knowing our own minds is not a bad thing, especially in this day and age where we constantly face a barrage of sensory triggers. So if you have got the friend star in your hour pillar, this guy tends to be more quietly confident, as in there's not so much of a need to validate their opinions against that of others. Rob Wealth in the hour tends to cling very strongly to their own ideas or opinions. Doesn't matter if it is the right opinion or the wrong opinion. The glaring difference between these two is friend in the hour means this person is very good at looking at their own interests, their own self-interest, always looking out for number one. No matter what decisions they make, always benefits me first. Now, let's not be judgy about this, okay? There's nothing wrong with having the ability to look out for one's own self-interest, right? I mean, sure, you can call it a little bit self-centered, but this is merely their strong survival instinct kicking in. Does this make them a little narcissistic? Maybe, but aren't we all a little narcissistic in some way? Okay, so but Rob Wealth on the hour pillar, on the other hand, will often feel a need to compete or compare with others. In fact, I covered this in episode 3 when we talked extensively about the Rockwell star. So with Rockwell in the hour, they will like to do things that in their own minds allows them to one up other people. A little bit like keeping up with the Jonases. Yes, again. Okay, so since the hour pillar represents what motivates or what drives us, when it comes to the psychology of money, we know that someone with the friend star on the hour pillar can usually be relied on to look out for their own self interest. Meanwhile, someone with the rob wealth on the hour stamp may show a tendency to base their decisions on comparison with others. Awareness of this tendency is important. There's no need to mitigate, right? Instead of viewing others as benchmarks, especially if you're Robert, right? Instead of viewing others as benchmarks, why not view other people as source of inspiration? So this is where again, the layering in puzzle starts. I'll give you an example. Let's say we have a Pink Fire Day Master. Okay, Pink Fire's Day Master's wealth is metal. Okay, so it's something to be controlled, molded, treasured. Okay, and let's say the Pink Fire is a direct officer profile, naturally risk averse, thrifty, disciplined. So if this example has a friend star in the hour pillar, we know that this person will be quite stubborn about their opinions. Direct officer individuals or profiles tend to be more concerned about what is right and not. So, with the friend in the hour, okay, in this example, the pink fire won't care too much about what other people think about their approach. They're just going to go their own way. Okay, it's what they think that matters. Willful. Can this willfulness be channeled into growth? Yes. Can it cause problems? Maybe. Okay, but let's say that the same pink fire day master with a direct officer profile, okay, instead of a friend in the hour, has a rob wealth instead. So, well, still opinionated, of course, but in this case, there is a push pull now happening between the direct officer profile against the rob wealth mindset. So, in that case, while the example Pink Fire is still very much concerned about doing things the right way, he or she might be a little bit more unhappy because they keep comparing themselves to other people. Why this person can get away with this type of stuff? Why can't I? But innately, that person cannot take it is against taking shortcuts and stuff. So uh, bridging that cognitive dissonance by itself can actually help that the pink fire in our example. So you see how the layered approach of Bazi works now. I won't be giving examples for each of the 10 gods, okay? Otherwise, this video will end up 2 hours long, and who's gonna watch it? Okay, so now let's move on to the output stars. So if the eating god shows up in the hour, what drives this individual would be the acquisition of more knowledge and wisdom, quite similar to the direct resource, or we could say that this person has an ideal lifestyle that is motivating their behavior. So, and also because the eating god by itself, no matter where it shows up on the chart, it can represent the presence of intellect or the presence of a certain talent. So when it shows up on the hour pillar, you could say that this person is quietly intelligent. So if you flip it to the negative, this is almost like a smart person sitting back, doing nothing, just observing and secretly laughing at everyone else's quirks and foibles. The only caution for the eating god, because it is quite idealistic, okay, would be the perfectionist mindset that it creates. Everything must be just so exactly as how I imagine it to be. So the hurting officer in the hour also denotes intelligence, but while the eating god is quietly intelligent, this guy, the hurting officer is noisily intelligent, okay? Damn scared you don't know they are smart. Can't wait to show you how smart they are. Okay, so when it comes to motivation or decision making, eating God in the hour also, much like the friend, will not care about what other people think about their decisions. They're just going to go their own way and they are motivated by a certain lifestyle, okay, that they have envisioned for themselves. The hurting officer in the hour may make decisions in order to gain attention or to look good. Again, is this a bad thing on the surface? Sure. But if we can refocus this particular hurting officer motivation for fame, reputation, and glamour into self improvement and constant growth, then this person with the hurting officer, our pillar, will actually have more room for growth as compared to the eating god, which doesn't care what other people think. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, let's talk about the wealth stars. Direct wealth on the heavenly stamps risk. You already know the keywords for direct wealth: risk averse, thrifty, calculative. Like, like there's an eternal calculator in their heads that never breaks down. Okay, don't need battery on. Okay, so or a perpetual profit and loss Excel sheet being updated constantly, automatically. So in other words, direct wealth in the hour motivates the person to accumulate or hoard wealth through tried and tested methods. Wealth protection is their primary focus. So you can expect this hour pillar to know the savings rates or the loan interest offered by different types of banks or savings vehicles, the return on investment. They have all this information. Okay, so there will likely be a marked preference for vehicles that they can better control. Indirect wealth, on the other hand, simply denotes the presence of an entrepreneurial mindset. Indirect wealth is about abundance mindset. So it has the ability to spot opportunities, the motivation to take action quickly. People with entrepreneurial mindsets typically don't dilly nor dally. They see an opportunity, they start going after it. People with an indirect wealth mindset also tends to be more generous by nature, especially when compared to this eternal calculator. Okay, because indirect wealth is very okay with money come money go. They have this abundance mindset that is independent of their bank balance. So, in general, the major difference between these two is how they actually approach time management. Direct wealth spends more time focusing on the details of resource protection. Indirect wealth, on the other hand, because of its big picture approach to decision making, will tend to not sweat the small stuff. Instead, they are motivated by the best returns for their time spent, especially in the area of resource acquisition. So, indirect wealth in the hour sounds very period nine so far, right? So, there are some cautions though. Always, with indirect wealth, be careful of always looking for shortcuts when there are none to be found. So, this can land an indirect wealth mindset into trouble, especially when an indirect wealth mindset meets with something like a destruction in the chart. It tends to become a serial entrepreneur. Before a business venture can start yielding results, they jump into another one and another one. So, so as you can see, Bazi again is all about putting various data points together. So while you're watching this, I really want you to remember that when we split out small bites of information for social media sharing this way, please always remember that there are more layers left to be explored before you can say for certain if a person is behaving in this manner or not. Okay, and the one thing that's striking me right now is like if you have a chart where these two are very dominant because they behave so differently. Okay, there will tend to be confusion for the person. Like I see opportunities, but when I want to go for it, my direct wealth pulls me back. Like, wait. You need to check first. Wait, what about the risk? Okay, so like I'll give an example. For example, would be let's say Keng Metal Day Master. A Keng Metal Day Master's wealth element is wood. So wood regenerates, right? So for a Keng Metal Day Master, their natural attitude with money is that it is something that grows. So they can be quite generous. They have an abundance mindset for sure. Okay, and the this Keng Metal Day Master has got a indirect wealth profile. Okay, so indirect wealth profile, as you know, entrepreneurial, generous, always looking for opportunities. All right, able to capitalize on opportunities, but the motivation behind this skunk metal happens to be a direct wealth. While this person is behaving that way, there is some form of wealth protection going on. So this is the part where the interactions in the chart becomes an asset for the chart owner. Okay, well, of course this direct wealth can mean that I'm always calculating, oh my god, I lost money, oh my god, I lost money. Then the person will be miserable. So this is how we use 八字 to help the person understand the motivation behind their actions. So next, the influence stars. The right officer on the hour stamp reflects a norms abiding and responsible mindset. People with this on the hour tend to be very concerned about the right or wrong way of doing things. What is the socially acceptable way of doing things? So, tradition and responsibility and authority rank very high in their decision making process. However, because this mindset tends to be a little more hidebound to, again, the socially acceptable way of doing things, they tend to have a more rigid mindset, not very flexible in their thinking. So it's difficult for them to deviate. Let's put it this way. Seven killings mindset, on the other hand, I like. It's all about taking action. This is the do first, think later. Q first, say sorry later. Their first response to everything is to take action. The good news is, because a seven killings mindset loves to win, they can be very determined. Okay, so for these guys, it's fairly easy to bounce back from any setbacks. because they will take action. You know they will take action. The not so good news is sometimes the brain is too energetic, which causes hasty and rash decisions. Seven killings in the hour can also mean self attacking thoughts sometimes. Okay. So finally, the resource stars. The right resource on the hour stamp, the right resource mindset is methodical, and there's a strong need for data. Like I said, quite similar to the eating god. The difference is eating god tends to be more interested in acquiring new talents. The right resource wants more data. The right resource wants to know everything about something. Is this good? Is this bad? Like I've often said, everything in Bazi is neutral. It's good when you use it to become a more knowledgeable person, of course. It's bad if the strong need for data results in analysis paralysis. Okay. An indirect resource, much like an indirect resource profile, an indirect resource mindset will tend to be interested in the non conventional knowledge. Even in the psychology of money, the indirect resource mindset excels at finding all these unconventional investment vehicles or money management vehicles. In Malaysian, in Malay, we call this pandai cari lubang. Okay, very good at finding all this little opportunities. Okay, so even as investors or traders, they will tend to create strategies that are just that little bit off center to everyone else, because indirect resource also represents the ability to quickly see patterns and understand hidden nuances. And because the indirect resource is more intuitive than the direct resource, sometimes there could be too much reliance on the gut feel, especially when it comes to the psychology of money. And pro tip, indirect resource in the hour is one of the indications that the chart may have an addiction problem. Okay, so that's it for chapter 11. Our next episode, I just need to tell you, will be a little bit kindergarten level, suggested savings plans for the five structures. Okay, I'll deal with it when I record. But let's summarize this episode with the key takeaway. Understanding our own mindsets and motivations can help us control or overcome the cognitive dissonance that we all experience, and this will not only help us with our own psychology of money, but can also pave the way for better emotional and mental health as well. Okay, because the hour represents our mental wellness, our mindset. So if you've enjoyed this sharing, I would appreciate if you could hit the like button, share it to your friends too if you find this useful. Of course, please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, more episodes like this coming up. Okay, until I see you in the next video, you guys have a great day ahead. Bye now.